bills without my tuition.
We're just going to come out and say it. We miss you, Kelly Highland.
Get your finger out of my face!
We were super shocked when you got into that physical altercation with Abby Lee Miller, but we won't deny that she pushed your buttons. It was so sad to see Paige and Brooke go, but they're doing a lot better now that they've put the show behind them. It was obvious that Abby didn't want them around and that Paige and Brooke were done with dancing. So you did the right thing by leaving, and you certainly went out with a bang.
I'm just tired of Abby and just the way she treats them.
So what has happened in the first 8 seasons of Dance Moms? From mommy meltdowns to fights to everything in between. But did you know that some secrets were deemed too radical for the reality TV series to broadcast? Keep watching to find out which parent put their kid in harm's way for fame.
You ready for Hollywood?
The guy with the JoJo tattoo. Jojo Siwa is one of the most influential teenagers of the decade. She has a large following of diehard fans who would wait long hours in line to shake her hand or get an autograph. But one of Jojo's fans takes things to the next level, which resulted in him being thrown in jail for a total of 3 years. Back in 2015, 5 suspicious packages were sent to the ALDC via the post office, but officials immediately sensed that something was wrong, so they alerted the bomb squad. But when the parcels were deemed safe enough to open, officials found something equally as disturbing. As it turns out, a 36-year-old male had sent JoJo packages filled with extremely explicit material, and its contents were so disturbing that it shook officers to the core. To make matters worse, the culprit also had a YouTube channel in which he addressed the girls at the ALDC in a totally inappropriate manner. The stalker was so obsessed with JoJo that he even got a portrait of the young star tattooed on his body. Officers tried their best to keep the ordeal under wraps, but the cat got out of the bag anyway. And action. This next scene isn't as disturbing as the first one, but it does prove that The Dance Moms is far from being the reality TV show it pretends to be. One of the most impressive things about the ALDC is how quickly its dancers learn their routines, and how despite their short windows of preparation time, the girls always seem to perform their routines flawlessly. Well, it was soon revealed that the dance competitions were filmed multiple times to guarantee perfection, unless of course executives wanted the girls to fail so that they could manipulate the storylines. Dance Moms executives would get the girls to perform their routines a handful of times before yelling cut. Suddenly, the ALDC's flawless competition record seems like a total sham. Kira's run-in with the law. Being a famous TV personality might seem like a dream come true, but living in the spotlight makes it all the more challenging to keep the past in the past. Despite her greatest efforts, Kira Gerard's past came back to haunt her when her criminal record became public knowledge. Back in 2005, long before Kira took the stage as a dance mom, she was arrested for partaking in theft and fraud schemes. From July to October of 2005, Kira made over $15,000 by posting fake TV ads on eBay. The future reality TV star would accept money transfers from unsuspecting victims who believed that a plasma TV was going to be sent to their residence.
Do you have a flat screen TV I could buy from you?
I don't.
When Kira's home was raided, officers found proof that Kira was behind these fraudulent activities, but she denied them every step of the way. Eventually, Kira admitted to the crime and was fined and given 2 years of probation. Unfortunately, she never completed her 400 hours of community service, which resulted in her receiving an even larger probationary sentence. Jojos of Burnetts. It's no secret that the moms of Dance Moms enjoy living in the limelight. Sure, their daughters are talented dancers who deserve to get recognized, but that's never stopped the moms from using their daughters to rise to the top. One of Jojo Siwa's most notable traits is her long blonde hair, so you can just imagine how shocked her fans were when they found out that Jojo was a natural brunette. Jojo was only 11 years old when she joined the cast of Dance Moms, and many parents would agree that bleaching your 11-year-old daughter's hair is sort of absurd. But that never stopped Jessalyn Siwa from causing permanent damage to her young daughter's locks so she could come off as a natural blonde.
You ready for Hollywood?
Always.
Jessalyn received a lot of scrutiny for her actions, and for good reason too. After all, it isn't safe to put bleach on a child's scalp. There's nothing wrong with being a brunette, but Jojo still feels the need to bleach her hair to keep her image going strong. Paiges Lawsuit. It's no secret that Abby Lee Miller always had a problem with Paige and Brooke Highland and their mother Kelly.
Get your finger out of my face!
But when things got physical between Kelly and Abby, the Highlands quickly left the cast and never looked back. But just when Abby thought that she had the Highlands out of her hair, Paige filed a lawsuit against her former teacher. The lawsuit claimed that Abby abused Paige, causing her extreme emotional distress. As many of us know, Paige suffered a handful of anxiety attacks while on the show, and according to her, Abby was to blame for these episodes. Despite the Highlands' greatest efforts, their lawsuit was dismissed. While the judge couldn't deny that growing up on the set of Dance Moms was a stressful ordeal, he dismissed the case because there wasn't enough proof that Abby absolutely abused Paige. If you love Dance Moms as much as we do, make sure to subscribe to The Things so you never miss another video. And don't forget to click that bell to get notified whenever we post new content. If you're watching on your phone, go to YouTube settings and turn on your notifications. This way, you can be the first to sound off in the comments. Bankruptcy. When the cast of Dance Moms first agreed to take the stage, they were under the impression that they were filming a documentary.
Don't look at your mothers. I am the coach. I am the teacher.
But before long, Lifetime executives noticed how much potential the cast had and chose to turn their project into a reality TV series. Since the show wasn't popular yet, the families hardly saw any return during the first season. But as time went on, money started rolling in, which was a welcome surprise for many of the mothers on the show because, well, a handful of them were on the verge of bankruptcy. Abby Lee Miller, on the other hand, was already neck deep in debt, and it was later revealed that the dance teacher had filed for bankruptcy just 10 months before the first episode of Dance Moms aired. Although it's hard to believe, the ALDC wasn't as popular then as it is today. In fact, Abby was pinching every penny because not many customers were interested in dancing for her studio. Abby owed a whopping $400K for failing to pay her real estate taxes. So while she'll never admit it, no one needed Dance Moms more than Abby. Mommy rejects. Abby might be the face of Dance Moms, but she isn't the one who came up with its concept. The dance teacher often fought with Lifetime executives because of how controlling they were over her vision. On more than one account, Abby has told students and their mothers that she could kick them off the show and replace them just like that.
Everyone's replaceable.
But that isn't exactly true. As it turns out, Lifetime producers are the ones who call the shots, no matter what. So in reality, Abby didn't get to choose which mother-daughter pairings made it onto the show, no matter how hard she tried. Abby often referred talented dancers to the show's executives, only to have them veto her picks. It didn't matter how talented the dancers were, but rather how erratic their mothers could be. Since the series is equal parts dance and mommy drama, dancers were rejected based on their mother's personalities or lack thereof. Kalanis Story. Every dancer on Dance Moms wants Abby to give them solos. It's literally what they want most in life, and which kid gets which solo causes the moms to get into huge fights, because they all feel like their kid deserves to be in the spotlight. Kalani Hilliker worked extra hard to land solos and danced her heart out on stage, so she was super shocked when she watched Dance Moms and found out that some of her solos never made the cut. In the end, producers chose to omit Kalani's solo to add some dramatic flavor to the show. Now it's no secret that Dance Moms is heavily edited to secure sensitive moments, but sadly the girls had to find this out the hard way. Cutting ties. Season 7 of Dance Moms is by far one of the hardest things to watch, and that's partially because that's when the Lucasiacs left the show. Abby always had a bone to pick with Christy and Chloe, but there were times when Abby went way too far, like when she made fun of Chloe's medical issue. To make matters worse, Lifetime executives edited out her awful comment to protect the dance teacher from facing backlash.
Chloe is finished. Your kid's washed up.
But that's all water under the bridge now. What's most shocking, however, is how Christy and Chloe decided to block several of their friends on social media the second they left the ALDC. While we understand why they would block Abby, we're surprised that the Lucasiacs would block the other members of the cast. After all, Chloe considered these girls to be her best friends, and Christy had grown very close with the other moms too. Eventually, the Lucasiacs unblocked the Dance Moms members and made amends, but they'll never be as close as they once were. Award ceremonies. Dance Moms is loaded with exciting scenes and amazing dances, and one of the best parts of the show is its many award ceremonies. It's so fun to see the girls win awards for their efforts, all the while making their parents and dance teacher proud. But if there's one dark secret the cast of Dance Moms tried to keep under wraps, it's that the awards ceremonies are staged. Not only are the awards ceremonies staged, but the producers of the show chose which dancers get which titles, and sometimes the real version of the TV version have entirely different winners. That's a wrap on 10 dark secrets the cast of Dance Moms tried to hide. Before you go, tell us which seasons of Dance Moms is your favorite and why in the comments below. Thanks for watching The Things. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. We'll catch you later.